The real and high cost of bad hires isn't what you think. Why and how to only hire superstars. According to Peter Drucker, the toughest decisions in organizations are people decisions: hiring, firing, and promoting people. These are the decisions that receive the least attention and are the ones that are hardest to unmake. Has it been more than 6 months since you've done a serious analysis of each member of your team's performance? Yes. You're losing customers, valuable assets, and money. Is your company made up of superstars and A players, or do you have B, C, and maybe even some D players infecting your company at the core? Anyone who is less than an A player is costing you big money, and the real cost isn't what you think it is. Even one bad apple can lead to widespread rot. As Steve Jobs says, the dynamic range between what an average person can accomplish and what the best person could accomplish is 50 or 100 to 1. Go after the cream of the cream. A small team of A-plus players can run circles around a giant team of B and C players. Let me tell you a story about how firing an entire team led to 3,546% growth in 12 months. Too many CEOs have come to accept what they believe is the reality of business, that dealing with B and C players is just part of the game. What happens, though, when you just say no and create a new reality? One of my clients discovered the hard way just how much her lackluster team of C players and naysayers was hurting her company. Some had been hired because of prior relationships, others because they happened to be available. None from the controller to the marketing director to the entire sales team was an A player. While many were working hard and putting in a lot of exhausting hours, they weren't producing. After more than 12 months of no new revenue, it was time for a big change. The CEO made the very hard decision to say goodbye to everyone in the company and rebuild her team from scratch, hiring only superstars and A players. The result? 12 months later, her revenue had grown from 0 to $602 million. The direct cost of hiring and keeping poor performers. Low productivity, lack of initiative, too many days showing up late, or not at all, are typical complaints about bad hires or poor performers. When they're out sick, yet again, the rest of the team must jump in and cover. And when poor performers do show up, the team is still covering. Their negativity and list of reasons why something won't work or can't be done is endless. Eventually, they have to be replaced. But get ready to pay. The typical cost to replace an employee is at least 21% of their annual salary. That is on top of lost opportunity cost, deals blown, and customers lost. However, the costs are far more than merely recruitment expenses. Have you ever calculated your direct costs of replacing someone who shouldn't have been hired in the first place? At a minimum, they include hiring, which is also advertising, screening, interviewing, and hiring by HR and management personnel; onboarding, including training and management oversight; lost productivity, lost engagement, lost opportunity, lost customers due to poor customer service, training costs, and higher new employee salaries, which are typically 18 to 20% over your previous employees. As Manuel Aurora from Rat Race to Financial Freedom says, your assets are your employees. Invest more on those performing well and let the non-performers go. Take a look at this example of costs for replacing a sales rep. They're costing you a lot. However, the direct costs are small compared to the real cost to your company. What you're missing? The real cost. As if the direct costs weren't enough, the real hit to your profitability is the toxic cloud of low morale that destroys productivity. C players cause A players to disengage and ultimately drive your superstars away. When you have the wrong people, everyone begins to question your ability to make smart decisions, and no one is more affected than top performers. Their work, your company, becomes merely a paycheck. 70% of workers are not engaged with their jobs, and 17.2% of those are actively disengaged. Poor employee engagement leads to 37% more absenteeism, 65% higher turnover rates, 22% lower profitability, 10% lower customer approval, 50% lower productivity, 44% lower profits, and 50% lower customer satisfaction. Superstars are passionate about what they do. They show up, not just for the salary, but to achieve, to accomplish, to push themselves and their abilities to new levels. They tend to be innovators and love solving problems. Superstars are leaders, either intentionally or by example, and they tend to collaborate with other members of the team, helping to lift everyone to new heights. When you inflict C players on superstars and A players, those superstars and A players begin to question why they're giving it their all. Why, while others are underperforming and tolerated? Why should they care and overperform if you don't? As Deloitte says, employees operate in a transparent job market where in-demand staff find new positions in their inboxes. After decades of corporate discourse about the war for talent, it appears that the battle is over and talent has won. Superstars and A players are in high demand. There is always another company around the corner just waiting to welcome them to their team. Consequently, it's your superstars who are the first to leave. And when your best performers leave, they take their knowledge and skills, the building blocks of your company, with them. So how do you recognize, hire, and keep superstars? As Jim Collins, who wrote Good to Great, says, those who build great companies understand that the ultimate throttle on growth for any great company is not markets, technology, competition, products. It's the one thing above all others, the ability to get and keep the right people. So what makes a superstar? And how do you recognize one when you see one? First, natural talent. What are the skills that are vital for the job? Do you have someone who is or who has been a superstar in this position? Make a list of qualities that person has. In some cases, it's not the most experienced person who is the superstar, but someone who's tenacious, innovative, and a keen problem solver. Second, they're hungry. People are often surprised by the people who turn out to be superstars. Look for someone who's hungry and intent on making their mark. Employers often shy away from new hires with big goals out of fear that they will leave. If you keep challenging and rewarding team members who thrive on challenge and showing what they're made of, they're likely to drive their own growth and your company's as well. Third, they're teachable. Often the worst hire is a person with some experience and success. This is most often true in sales. You're much better off with someone who wants extra helpings of new information and skills than someone who, based on a little success, believes they know it all. Fourth, they sell themselves. During the interview process, it's a great time to see what they've got. You want them working after you hire them. Make them do a little work to show you why they're the smart choice. Have a plan before you start the interview. What do you want to know? What skills are vital? Is this person someone who, at 5 o'clock on a Friday, stays to solve the crises that could destroy the company? Or is she or he someone who says, see you Monday? Push back a little. Be tough. See what they're made of. Once you have your superstars, how do you keep them? First, if you want your team actively helping you grow your company, know what makes them tick. Recent research by MindFlash shows the disconnect between what employers think employees want and what employees really want. The survey was taken by both employers and employees. So what do employers think employees want? 1, good wages. 2, job security. 3, promotion and growth opportunities. 4, good working conditions. 5, interesting work. 6, personal loyalty to workers. 7, tactful discipline. 8, full appreciation for work done. 9, sympathetic help with personal problems. And 10, feeling in on things. But what do employees really want? 1, full appreciation for work done. 2, feeling in on things. 3, sympathetic help on personal problems. 4, job security. 5, good wages. 6, interesting work. 7, promotion and growth opportunities. 8, personal loyalty to workers. 9, good working conditions. And 10, tactful discipline. So here are some specific actions for keeping your superstars. First, teach them. Most companies have terrible or non-existent onboarding practices. Many find someone in their company and say, follow them. Some companies even entrust this vital role to the person who is soon to be exiting. Your new hire is a diamond. Give him or her some polish. What does that mean? Don't just hand over an employee manual or turn this diamond over to someone and say, train. Create a real, meaningful training program. Memorialize your most important training on video. Yes, it does take time to create it, but once it's done, it will serve you well. Video tips. The person who makes the video should be charismatic, interesting, and actually know what they're talking about. In some cases, a process or procedure is very different in theory than it is in reality. Second, lead. One of the worst things that a superstar can encounter is someone in management who cannot lead. As the owner or manager of the company, understand what you need to know and make decisions. Even if those decisions are not always 100% right, superstars will respect intelligent decision making. Third, give credit. Poor, ineffective leaders lack confidence and steal credit. Don't. And if you have leaders on your team who do, they too need to be replaced by a superstar. Invest and reward. Superstars aren't in it only for the money. They want something more. What's their currency? Is it recognition or promotion? Opportunity to stretch or learn something new? Know what their currency is and spend it. Fifth, develop a superstar culture. Every company is different and the culture should match the values of the superstars you have and that you want to attract. Invest time and resources in developing yours. Let your superstars help you lead in developing a healthy, vibrant culture. Spend time in knowing and enjoying coworkers as people with group and/or team building activities. 92% of employees rate both their overall corporate culture and teamwork within their department as important to them, and 88% say that they place high value on their relationships with coworkers. Would you like the full executive summary of this report? Go to www.deberahbringelson.com/superstars, and I'll send you the full report, including sources, for free.